Hello, everybody. This presentation is about preempts. There's also an appendix presentation to watch another time. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And there we have it. I always like to put an image on the first page, and when you Google preamps, you don't find a lot, but I did find a notice that on some ABC affiliates, the NFL draft would preempt Jeopardy. So I put on this an image of James Holzhauer, a wonderful Jeopardy player who also happens to be a very good bridge player. I've seen him at a couple of tournaments. And anyway, let's dive in. So where are we? We spent the last 4 weeks talking about kind of normal opening bids, one no trump, one of a major and how we respond, one of a minor and how we respond, and the usual reminder that repetition helps consolidate our learning. Most of the things you see today, many of you will have heard, some you will not have. So. And of course, when we get to the end of the 24 weeks, we start over again because repetition is the key. Two background slides. One, I think this is a quote from Tilton. Bridge is the only game where you can win by failing. So Dana and I held these hands and we played in 5 diamonds and we went down one. I'm not going to go through the bidding. I'm not going to talk in detail about the play of the hand, but let's just remind ourselves how we think about playing a suit contract. Let's pick North as kind of the reference hand, and we look at the suits one by one. Spades, we're going to have one loser. Hearts, the ace of hearts will cover one of our small hearts, but we'll have one loser. Diamonds will have no losers. And in clubs, we will lose the ace of clubs. The queen kind of covers one of these, and the other two we can just rough and dummy after we call trump. So we lost 3 tricks. We went down one. We were vulnerable, so our score was minus 100. And that score was way above average. Even though it was negative, it was way above average. Why? Because the opponents, as it turns out, could make 4 spades or 4 hearts. Again, without going through the details of the bidding, let's think about the play, planning the play from the perspective of the hand on the left. Clearly, no spade losers. There's one heart loser, the ace. The hearts will probably break 3-2, and our fourth heart will be good. There's clearly one diamond loser. The ace of clubs covers one of these, but there's one club loser. So they lose 3 tricks. They make 4 spades, or they could make 4 hearts. Spades is certainly an easier contract to play. Although in hearts you might make 5 because you could discard things on the spades, but I digress. So if they had been made 4 spades or 4 hearts, that would be 420 for them, which is minus 420 for us. I'd rather get a positive score, but I'd certainly rather get minus 100 than minus 420. Sometimes being in a contract and going down yields a good result. And that's the whole premise of preempts, is sometimes we're happy going down. Background slide number 2, I held this lovely hand. I was in second seat. That means there was the dealer and then me in terms of the bidding. I count 10, 14 high card points, lovely spade suit. I'm going to open 1 spade. That's my plan. But then the dealer bid 3 diamonds. So what the heck do I do? I could pass, but it seems like maybe we could make something in a spade contract or even a heart contract, depending on partner's hand. Do I bid 3 spades? Well, I don't know. It's not, I hate jumping into the bidding at the 3 level with this hand, but that's what I did. I chose to bid 3 spades. As it turned out, we went down 4 for a lousy score. And the message here is that when the opponents start the bidding at a high level, or when one starts the bidding at a high level, it makes it hard for the opponents to bid effectively. In this case, the dealer bid 3 diamonds. I was one of the opponents. I didn't know what to do. So those are the two background slides about preempts. We're going to do an introduction to preempts. If you have a weak hand with a good long suit, here's a good example. It's a pretty darn weak hand, but it has a wonderful diamond suit. If we can be declarer in a diamond contract, we're going to take 6 diamond tricks. The opponents probably have a game, a good contract, probably a game somewhere else, maybe 4 spades, who knows. I would like, if I can, to stop them from finding it, or I'd like to cause them to make a disastrous bid as they try to navigate the bidding. So with a hand like this, you open the bidding at a high level. It's called a preemptive opening bid. Maybe they can't find their good contract after you make the preemptive opening bid, the first bid at a high level. Or maybe, like me on the prior page, maybe they have a disaster. And the important thing is that if we go down after bidding diamonds at a high level, we won't go down very much because we can take a bunch of diamond tricks. Yeah, we may lose a spade and some hearts and some clubs, but we'll take a lot of diamond tricks. Going down a little scores better than them making their contract. Preempts are a ton of fun, as you'll find. Here's some examples. And again, the idea is to make it hard for the opponents to bid while incurring very little risk yourself. So if you held this hand, it's clearly a weak hand on defense, but it can take up probably 5 spade tricks in a spade contract. So you start the bidding with 2 spades. When you have a 6 card suit, you start the bidding at the 2 level. It's called a weak 2. There's some history behind that, not important. If your suit is longer, this is a lovely 7 card club suit, I would start the bidding at the 3 level. And even a longer suit, this is an 8 card heart suit with an 8 card suit, I'll start the bidding at the 4 level. When do we preempt? When we are too weak to open at the 1 level. Notice none of these hands had the requisite 12 points for opening at the 1 level. And you have a good suit so that if they let you stay in your contract, you'll take a bunch of tricks in your trump suit. And your high cards are concentrated in your good suit. Those are the characteristics of a preemptive hand. Here's the idea. You're declarer, you hold this hand that I showed before, really lovely diamond suit, nothing else. The opponents probably have most of the points, and they probably have a fit in a major suit, so we're likely to end up on defense if we let them do their bidding without interference. This hand is almost worthless on defense. Maybe you take 1 trick in diamonds. Heck, the other 3 players only have 6 diamonds. Maybe one of the opponents has a singleton and his partner has the ace, then we don't take any diamond tricks. On the other hand, suppose we open 3 diamonds. It makes it much harder for the opponents to bid and communicate, as shown in that example hand that I experienced. Maybe they can't find their best contract after we open 3 diamonds. And nothing bad can happen to us. If they let us play in 3 diamonds, we'll take 6 tricks, plus whatever partner can offer. We may go down a couple tricks, but that's better than them making the contract. So we open 3 diamonds. It's called a preemptive bid. It says, partner, I'm weaker than an opening bid. I don't have much defense. I have a good long suit. My high cards are concentrated in that long suit. When you preempt, you expect to go down. That's okay. As we saw, that's actually beneficial in many cases. It's usually a good outcome if they let you play in your preemptive high-level opening bid and you go down, because they usually have something better. And it's usually a ton of fun. You watch them squirm after you open 3 diamonds. And like me, as an example in that earlier hand, I didn't know what to do, and I made a decision that turned out to be a disaster. You preempt when you have a weak hand with a good suit. Here's the hand we looked at from an earlier page. And again, this is just re-emphasizing why this is so valuable. Let's imagine that we start by bidding 3 diamonds, a preemptive 3-diamond opening bid. Here's a possibility for the other hands. Well, let's look at north-south. If they're in a spade contract, They're going to lose the ace of spades. They're going to lose the ace of hearts. They're going to lose one diamond, but that's it. They're going to make four spades. Can North jump into the bidding at the three level? I don't think so. If it goes three diamonds, pass, pass, can South bid anything? I don't think so. So we'll be declarer in three diamonds. We'll probably go down one, which is minus 50 or minus 100, depending on the vulnerability. But they could have made four spades, and our preemptive bid makes it essentially impossible for them to find that contract. So that's a really good outcome for us. Let's look at the examples we saw previously. The longer your suit, the higher you preempt because you can take one more trick or two more tricks. And so you're safer even at a higher level. With this hand, a nice six-card spade suit, I'd start with two spades. Again, called a weak two. Remember, two clubs is a super strong opening bid. I'll talk about that next week. Two diamonds, two hearts, two spades are preemptive. They're just trying to get in the way of the opponents. Let's give ourselves a longer suit, lovely seven-card suit. We'll start at the three level by bidding three clubs. Make it even longer, eight-card heart suit. We'll start at the four level. We'll bid four hearts. In each of these cases, I expect to go down unless partner has a wonderful hand. But I'm happy with that because they probably can make a contract. Again, the characteristics, you're too weak to open at the one level. You've got a good suit and your high cards are concentrated in your suit. That means that if you become declarer, you with this good suit can take a bunch of tricks. And the flip side of that is if they're the declarers, your hand is not worth very much on defense. Let's look at some examples. What should we bid with this hand? Well, it's clearly too weak to be an opening bid. 8 high card points, a few for length, but it's got a lovely diamond suit. Let's start by bidding 3 diamonds. It's too weak for a one-level opening bid. Has a wonderful, long suit, good suit. Let's change the hand a bit, make it a little stronger. I now count 4, 7, 10, 11 high, 3 for length. This hand is too strong to preempt. It's too good. You can open it at the one level, and that's what you should do. It has opening strength, and if partner has even a modest heart opener, you can probably make game in hearts. Let's make it even stronger. 4, 8, 10, 16 high, 3 for length. This is a very powerful hand. I'm going to bid this one diamond. But then as the bidding goes on, I'm going to bid it quite strongly. I'm going to keep rebidding my suit, maybe jump in my suit. When should you not preempt, even though you're weak and you have a long suit? This is a classic example. Got a 7-card diamond suit, but it's not a very good suit. If you become declarer in diamonds, you're likely to lose 3 diamond tricks, maybe even 4. And your high cards are not concentrated in your suit. When you preempt, you're telling partner, I've got a weak hand, a good suit, and my high cards are concentrated in my suit. And if you preempt with this hand, you're going to be misleading partner. So don't preempt with this hand. Your aces could be useful on defense. They could be useful to partner if partner has a decent hand. And the suit itself is not very good. It's not going to give you many diamond tricks. A preempt says, I can take many tricks, but only if my suit is trump. This is a good way to think about it. Here's another example, and bidding is not an exact science. Different people have different approaches and perspectives. I would not preempt with this hand. And the reason is I don't like to preempt. It looks like a preemptive hand, but I don't like to preempt if I have a 4-card major. Why? Because we're always trying to play in a major suit. If partner has a decent opening hand with that major, we could easily make game. Here's an 11 high card point hand that partner could have. If we play in a heart contract, we're going to lose 1 spade trick, maybe 1 heart trick, depends if they break 2-2 or 3-1. No diamonds, and we'll lose 1 club trick. We're going to make 4 hearts, even though partner has a pretty sketchy opening bid. So if there's a four card major as a side suit, I'm not going to preempt. Now, different people have different perspectives. Some people completely ignore this suggestion. I don't. I like it. Um, some people weaken it a little bit to say, well, don't make a preempt if you have a decent four card major, like maybe the Queen of Hearts or the Jack of Hearts instead of just four little ones. I don't weaken it. Different people, different perspectives. And to that point, let's look at a few hands and think about whether we would preempt or not. Well, this hand has a six card heart suit. It's a lovely suit. It's a pretty weak hand. It's too weak to open one heart. I would open this hand two hearts 100 times out of 100. And you see from the BBO names that these are actually hands that Dana and I played. Here's one that I held. It's got a lovely six card diamond suit. It's not a very strong hand, but it's got 4, 8, 10, 11 high. And, maybe if partner has four clubs, we could play in a club contract. I don't like the idea of preempting with this hand because I think it sends the wrong message to partner. I think my hand is good enough to open one diamond. We were playing in an online duplicate game, so there were many, many other tables where people held the exact same hand. 90% of the other people opened one diamond like me. 10% of them chose to preempt. So different people, different choices. Here's a hand, 10 high card points. I don't think it's really good enough for an opening bid. Yeah, you could add two for length in the diamonds. It just doesn't feel like an opening bid to me. It does have a six card diamond suit. I would not preempt with this hand. It's got a side four card major. It's got all the points are outside of my suit. All the high cards are outside of my suit. It's kind of the opposite of a preemptive opening bid. If partner has a spade opener, we want to be in four spades. So I want to be quiet and wait and see what partner says. Um, Here's a hand, lovely six card diamond suit, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11 high. I mean, nominally it fits the description of a preemptive opening bid. I actually think it's not a good preempt. It's too strong. I just think there's too much potential here. And it has a great spade suit. Even if partner has three little spades, we might very well make a game in spades. So I would not preempt with this hand. And getting into a topic we'll talk about in a couple of slides, suppose the right-hand opponent opens a diamond and I'm holding this hand. Well, when they open a diamond, they're showing, 11 at least. High card points could be quite a few more. Seems very unlikely that we're going to find a game contract. I'm going to go ahead and bid two spades. I'm going to I'm going to preempt in the second seat. They open a diamond. I'm going to bid two spades. I'm going to try and get in their way. I have a pretty weak hand. I have a lovely spade suit. And that's the message that I'm sending to partner. Different people make different choices. You look at this hand, I could count 4, 8, 10, 2 for length is 12. Is it a one spade opener? It's a lovely six card spade suit. Is it a one spade opener or a two spade opener? Well, I opened two spades. 2/3 of the people who looked at this hand opened two spades. The other 1/3 opened one spade. Honestly, if I looked at this hand on a different day, I might choose to open one spade. Bidding is not an exact science. You kind of do the best you can. You make the judgments that you make. Let's see. Here's a six card spade suit. Pretty good, Queen Jack. But it just feels awfully weak. If I open two spades, partner's going to expect a better spade suit than this. So I chose to pass. And again, other people who held this hand 50% passed, like I did, but the other 50% opened two spades. Different people, different choices. Interesting hand. I didn't hold this one, but I happened to see it. Um, Seven card heart suit, too weak to make an opening bid, clearly. Heart suit is pretty good. What do you do with this hand? Um, Personally, I would pass. I think the suit is not as good as partner would expect if I were to open three hearts. But 60% of the people who held this hand did open three hearts. Another 20% opened two hearts. They basically looked at this and said, it doesn't feel like a three heart bid, but it's got seven cards in length instead of six. It's missing a little bit at the top, but they chose to open two hearts. And 20% of the people passed. So again, different people, different choices. As an intermediate comment, if I were sitting in third seat and it started pass, pass, I've only got four high card points. I know the next person's got a good hand. I know they're going to make an opening bid. If I were not vulnerable, I'd just go ahead and open three hearts and cause as much trouble as I possibly can. What defines a good preemptive hand? Well, we talked about this a bit. A good long suit, but it's weak in high card points overall. And the high card points, probably 5 to 10 of them, should be concentrated in your suit. Do they all have to be in your suit? No. It's kind of one of those, if it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. You look at your hand and you decide whether or not it's a preemptive opening bid. You can't take many tricks if you're on defense because you don't have much strength, but you can take a lot of tricks if your suit is trump. That's when you want to preempt. How high do you bid? With a 6 card suit, you start by bidding 2. With a 7 card suit, start at the 3 level. With an 8 card suit, start at the 4 level. When you first start doing this, does it feel a little nervous and anxious? Yeah, but later you'll find out that the nervousness and anxiousness actually is experienced by the opponents after you make this bid. If I had a 9 card minor with nothing outside it, I'd open at the 5 level, make it impossible for them to bid their 4 heart or 4 spade game. Some people say that your suit should have 2 of the 3 top honors or 3 of the top 5 cards. That's good guidance. As you gain experience, you may relax that a bit, like that hand we saw a moment ago with King 10, 9, 8 of, and so on of hearts. Comment I made earlier that I want to repeat, you can make preemptive overcalls. So you're sitting here with this hand, you're planning to open 3 diamonds as a preemptive bid, but the dealer bids a spade. I would go ahead and bid 3 diamonds. It's going to cause trouble for them. It's going to make it hard for them, and nothing really bad can happen to us. Let's look at this hand. I'm planning with this hand to open 2 spades. I've got a weak hand, too weak to open at the 1 level, good 6 card suit, but then the opponent on my right opens 1 heart. I'm just going to go ahead and bid 2 spades. I'm going to try to cause as much trouble as I can. And again, I'm not likely to go down very much. And if they have a game, I'll be very happy if they let me play at 2 spades and I go down. Some people call this bid 1 heart, 2 spades. They call it a weak jump overcall. Don't worry about the name. Whatever you call it, it's a preemptive bid. Very important. If you preempt, do not bid again. In a sense, it's kind of like making a 1-no trump opening bid. You have described your hand. Partner heard you. Let partner make the decisions. Partner has become the captain of the team. Good guidance that I heard is if later in the auction you feel like bidding again, it means you didn't preempt high enough to begin with. Decide how high you're going to preempt and do it. So for example, this is the hand I showed before as I think a classic 4-heart preempt. Lovely 8-card heart suit. Some people get cold feet. They open 3 hearts. Pass, pass. The next person bids 3 spades. You know they're on their way to a 4-spade contract it's going to make, and then you decide to bid 4 hearts. Well, the cat's out of the bag. They've already figured out what they want to do. Just decide how high you want to preempt and open the bidding at that level. As a caveat, there are rare occasions where partner may ask you to bid again if partner has a really good hand. In the appendix, there's some details about how that relates to week 2 opening bids. Second point, if partner opens, don't preempt your partner. The purpose of preempting is to interfere with the opponents, not to interfere with partner. So, for example, partner deals and opens one heart. What should you do? Well, if you were the dealer or if there was somebody on your right who passed, you'd open this hand three spades. It's a beautiful seven card spade suit. But when partner opens a heart, don't preempt with this hand. There's way too much potential to make a game. Give partner the ace king of hearts, ace king of diamonds, and nothing else, and you'll lose a club, a diamond, and a spade, and you'll make four spades. I would just bid one spade. And I'll wait and see what partner says. We're probably going to end up playing in two spades if partner's really weak, or we'll play in four spades if partner's stronger. 10% to remember. When do you preempt? You have a good long suit. You have 5 to 10 high card points, mostly in your suit. You're too weak to make an opening bid at the one level. I like this description, although it takes a while to get used to. Your hand is worth very little on defense if the opponents are declarer, but it's really good on offense if you're declaring in your trump suit. And how high do we bid? With a 6-card suit, we start at the 2 level. 7-card suit, we start at the 3 level. 8-card suit, we start at the 4 level. Seems a little scary at first. Once you do it a few times, you'll love it. Again, don't preempt two clubs. Two clubs is the super strong opening bid. We'll talk a little about it next week. Second main point, a preempt can be an opening bid or it can be an overcall after the opponents have bid. And when you preempt, don't bid again. You have described your hand to partner. Let partner make the decisions after that, because you can't see partner's hand, but they can, and they know what's in your hand. And finally, if partner opens, don't preempt partner. We'll go to our breakout rooms and play hands. Coaches may share some best e-bridge examples, depending on how the group wants to spend the time. And we will have a ton of fun. And that's the end of today's presentation. Thanks so much. Watch the appendix if you want. Bye.